Hey guys, it's me, Ducky. I was gonna do a pillow talk video because I just feel like rambling. But I'm not tired and I don't feel like being in bed, so this is gonna have to do. So there's your warning. This is a rambling video. I have no idea how long it's gonna be, what I'm gonna talk about, where I'm gonna go. And no worries, I'm not in a depressed or sad mood. I think sometimes a lot of my moods can be mistaken as sad and depressed, where they're really just introspective. I think. I think, therefore I am. So I haven't been able to get in touch with my little brother who wrote this paper today. So I'm going to have to do that sometime in the near future. I don't think he meant some of the stuff he said. I mean, it wasn't horrible what he said. You know, most people would look at it and think, you know, okay. But I just get concerned when it seems like one group is being singled out or ganged up on more than another. Not that anybody should be singled out, ganged up on. I'm just a little bit sensitive to that stuff. And so I kind of want to talk to him and feel him out and see where he is. He's my youngest brother. He's 16. And we're really close. I mean, I don't have a favorite brother. I have 4 wonderful brothers who I love. But at this stage in my life, in their lives, I happen to be a little closer with this one. He's a lot like me. Because he's so great. No, he is though. But he's a lot like me because he seems to have, he has a tortured soul, if that makes sense. And he's a good guy, but he gets into trouble, as I did in his age, and you wonder what he's thinking, and everybody's wondering what I was thinking for a long time. I think they still do. But you know, he's a tough guy, you know. But I know him better than that, and it seems like for me, he'll drop it. He'll drop the facade for me, and we can just be silly and talk about everything. Although sometimes I think he tells me too much about his sex life for my my own comfort level. But I'd rather he tell me too much than too little, so I smile and nod and make sure he's taking care of himself. I worry about him when I'm gone, because I'm like the buffer between him and my parents. He's quite rebellious. And they can get into quite heated heated arguments, and I'm kind of like his protector. And then there's my next youngest brother, who is 17. He'll be 18 in November. He's on my mother's side. My parents got divorced when I was 3.5. So they each got remarried and each had 2 boys. But I'm going to go through them in chronological order. Because, you know, and people, when I tell them about my family, they say, oh, they're your half-brothers. But they're not. Maybe technically that's what they are, but they don't feel like half-brothers. They're my boys. They're my brothers. I would live and die for them. Even though some of them are at the stage in their lives now that family isn't the most important thing. So, yeah, my second youngest brother is 17.5. He just finished his last year of high school. He's going off to university next year. The same university as my second oldest brother, who's 19. But back to the 17.5-year-old. He is so smart. It's like he's a little encyclopedia, not so little anymore. I always think about them as if they're still 6. But he is so smart. He just absorbs everything, especially current events, science, history. But he's not a dork, and he's not a geek, and he's not a nerd. He's awesome. And I mean, beside him, I always feel kind of inferior. And I always feel like he's teaching me more than I could ever teach him. But then that's also his attitude. He's a sarcastic little bugger. I remember one time, for my birthday, my mother flew my brother and I to Mont Tremblant for the long weekend to go skiing. And I took this jump. My whole we're good skiers, and I took this jump to test it out for my little brother. And something went wrong. I don't even know what happened, but I ended up in the hospital with internal injuries. And I turned to my brother while I'm lying there, because he came with me in the ambulance, and I say, you know, I'm so sorry for screwing up your ski day. And he goes, shh, I'm reading. He can be a complete asshole, but he's so lovable, and he can be really sweet. Alright, on to the next brother. My next brother in line, from youngest to oldest, is 19. He just finished his first year of university. He too is very smart. All my brothers are smart, but yeah, he's doing environmental science, and he's really into sports and basketball. He went to Israel last year to play basketball, which is amazing. He's 6'2". I feel like a shrimp beside him. And he's the sweet one. He's the one that always has something nice to say. And, you know, we'll always know when you're feeling a little down and come over and give you a hug or ask you what's wrong or say just the right thing. No wonder he has a lot of friends. He's a good guy. He's yeah. He's like the middle of his social group, and he's just the nice guy that gets along with everybody and will count everybody amongst his friends. Then the oldest of my brothers is going to be 20 next month. He's severely handicapped and cannot speak, and he can't walk, and he needs 24-hour care. There's no general consensus as to how much he understands. He doesn't have a diagnosis, so I can't tell you he has Down syndrome or this or that. We think he might have a little bit of autism. Though knowing him has made me a better person. Knowing him has made me more sensitive to all different types of people. And I think that's really important, and I thank him for that. He's influenced our whole family. I mean, it was really hard when he was little, and we were just getting to know that something was wrong, and we didn't know what was wrong, and it kind of dawned on us that this was going to be his situation for the rest of his life, and there's a lot of stress in the family about that. But I think things have calmed down a lot in the past 10 years. We've kind of gotten into a routine with him. He doesn't like to be in the house very much. He likes to be out doing stuff. He horseback rides with an organization that has therapeutic riding. He takes swimming lessons. He loves the water, loves music. There's a guy that works as a carer, but he's in like three bands outside, and he's really cool. He's about my age, and he comes over every Sunday and takes him out, and they go to bars to see live bands and go see music. And although you don't really know how much he understands, you know, one day or one moment you might think, yeah, he knows what I'm talking about, or he wouldn't react that way. And then maybe the next moment that glimmer is gone. So it's kind of this constant state of confusion and a fight in your head. How much does he really understand? But even with all that, if he smiles or starts to giggle, which he does a lot, it's this amazing feeling. So those are my brothers. Each one is a unique little gem in their own right. And I love them all dearly. And no matter at what stages in our lives we're at, and how close we are at any given time, they're my boys. They are. I mean, and looking back now, I used to want a sister when I was, you know, between 8 and 13. Looking back, I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't know what I'd do with a sister, you know. It's been such an experience to watch them grow, and for me to be able to physically dominate them when they were young. Don't worry, I was never mean to them. I was a loving older sister. But, you know, we used to play fight and stuff, and I'd always win. I can't beat any of them now. They're all much stronger than I am. And that's really cool to watch and to see that happen slowly over time, and it become harder and harder for me to have a fair fight with them. And then my mom, she's probably one of my best friends. She's awesome. We can have hour-long conversations just giggling and making fun of each other, and she's really great. My dad and my relationship is a little bit more complicated. I used to be Daddy's little girl till I was about 15. I could do no wrong. And then I started to screw up at every turn. And then things became really strained with us, and I moved out to my mom's house full time when I was 17. And I used to go into that house preparing for a battle. I'd psych myself up to go over there, and he'd say one thing, I'd be gone. And it took a lot of time, and I think he worked at it just as hard as I did, but I can't speak for him, but I think we both put a lot of work into getting to where we are today. And my relationship with him today is pretty good. So that's great. And if you're still listening, congratulations. Yeah, I was slightly down today. Not really, but Laugh Me Sad made me a video. It's like a video medal for cleaning my bathroom. And it put a smile on my face. That was so sweet. And it did brighten my day. That was great. I think I'm going to go, because this is probably getting pretty long. But as always, I love you all, and I'll talk to you later.